RW Wrestling Podcast's old guy is here, and he has another random ass daily match review for you. Today we have Jungle Boy versus Bryan Alvarez. They wrestled under All Pro Wrestling on April 29th, 2017 at James Logan High School in Union City, California. This was for a fundraising event benefiting a group called the Ballet Folklorico Group. And this match is for the APW Junior Heavyweight Championship. So it looks like they're wrestling in a gymnasium in the high school, and I'd say there's maybe a couple hundred people there. Looks kind of cozy. Okay, so APW was a company founded in 1991 by a man named Roland Alexander, and it's headquartered in Hayward, California. And when it first broke out in '91, it was called Pacific Coast Sports. And they had these Gym Wars events. So they had a little strong local following based on those. And they gained some national notoriety during the Attitude Era, where when a couple of their wrestlers named Tony Jones and Michael Modis appeared on the Beyond the Mat documentary. Those two guys were having a tryout match for the WWF at the time. And the spot in the film the spot in the film was said to have tremendously boosted the school's boot camp signups. So, some notable people who've come and wrestled with him. Becky Lynch, using the name Rebecca Knox, appeared at a show called Chick Fight 3. Let's see here. Anything else of note? Not really. They began finally doing televised tape shows called All Pro Wrestling Gym Wars in 2009, so it took them a little while to get on TV. It looks like they're still running shows, but Roland Alexander died a few years ago following a heart attack, and the guy running the show now is a guy named Marcus Mack, and they're still running shows out of California. I don't know what they're doing for COVID and all that stuff. It doesn't really say on Wikipedia. But I don't even have a roster. There's some notable names on this roster here. Like I see Chris Masters, Cheerleader Melissa, Colt Cabana have run through here. Jeff Cobb, Joey Ryan, Jungle Boy is in this match. Another notable name, MVP. Let's see who else we got here. I think that's about it. So yeah, some interesting stuff here. And this match stuff, it was in the gymnasium, so they're keeping up with their gym gimmick. I think that's a pretty good idea. If you're going to find a niche, stick with it. You never know what can happen. And they're still around. They're still doing their thing, so props to them. So before we get into the match here, with introductions, I'm going to pop this beer open. And we're going to get this started. So introducing first, we have the challenger. He is a man called Bryan Alvarez, and when he gets into the ring, he grabs a mic. And he mocks the hometown fans for actually living in Union City. And he says Jungle Boy is afraid to face him. Says something about some emails, like Jungle Book emailed him that the match was off or something like that. Really silly stuff. The fans try to hijack his promo with a what chant. So he was saying things like, he says he will chop Jungle Boy. What? I'll big brother him. What? And I'll submit him. What? And he closes with, man, you all heard me. The crowd's like, what? So after he gives the mic back to the ring announcer, he goes, we get his opponent, and he is the current reigning and defending APW Junior Heavyweight Champion, the one and only Jungle Boy. Beer goes down smooth. And all right, so Jungle Boy is ready. Bryan Alvarez is ready. The crowd is ready. The ref says ring the bell, and here we go. Jungle Boy lays down his title belt on the ground between him and Alvarez. So apparently Jungle Boy has drawn some kind of line, and he asks Alvarez to cross it. And Alvarez crosses the line with a chop, which starts off a little bouye spot at the beginning of the match with a bunch of more chops from both men. And with the appropriate woo chants followed by each one. Okay, gotta get those in there. Not like my last review where it was chops, 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 and no woos and, yeah, okay. I mean, all y'all heard that one. Not to mention my little puns of them all. Hope you all enjoyed that, because I sure did. I thought it was funny. All right. Hopefully it's not a single. Hopefully I don't have a singular wit. Okay, so after the Bouye spot, Alvarez backs into a corner and Jungle Boy follows him in. Alvarez kicks Jungle Boy in the gut and then rams Jungle Boy's head into the top turnbuckle. Alvarez chops Jungle Boy in the chest, but Jungle Boy no sells. Jungle Boy puts Alvarez into that same corner and chops Alvarez. I'm seeing a little chop theme here. I hope this doesn't continue for the rest of my life, because I'm getting sick of saying the word chop right now. I really am. Anyway, I'm not going to make fun of the chops in this match. Okay, so after Alvarez chops Jungle Boy. Okay, so Jungle Boy whips Alvarez into the opposite corner. Alvarez proceeds to flip over the top rope and he gets the floor. So Jungle Boy joins Alvarez out of the ring. Alvarez tries to get back in the ring and then tries to kick Jungle Boy as Jungle Boy tries to get back in the ring, but Jungle Boy dodges the kick and pulls Alvarez back out of the ring. So they brawl for a little bit, and then Jungle Boy picks up Alvarez up in a fireman's carry, but Alvarez wiggles out and pushes Jungle Boy into a ring post, and JB sells it to the floor. They brawl some more around the ring until Alvarez floors Jungle Boy with a kick to the gut. Alvarez continues to punish Jungle Boy with some chops and kicks. Jungle Boy fights back with some elbows, kicks, and chops. Chops. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's just funny. Jungle Boy holds Alvarez up so one of the ballet folkloric kids can slap him in the face. Actually, he didn't slap him in the face. He punched him in the chest. Sorry. I had to go back and look at that. Alvarez sells towards the ring post, and as Jungle Boy walks up to him, Alvarez grabs Jungle Boy and throws him into a ring post. The heel announcer starts going off by saying that Jungle Boy should have been disqualified for the kid hitting Alvarez. But obviously, if that happens, Alvarez would not win the title. So since his heel commentator wants Alvarez to win the title, a DQ won't do him any favors. So, dude, just calm down. It's okay. Calm down. Your boy's gonna try for the fight. Your boy has to actually not get disqualified to win the title. Alvarez puts Jungle Boy in the ring, and then hits this nice slingshot senton to Jungle Boy for a 1 count. Jungle Boy sells that senton to a corner. Alvarez whips Jungle Boy into the opposite corner, and Jungle Boy sells the back from the impact. Yeah, he just fell straight down. He hit that turnbuckle hard. He hit that turnbuckle pretty hard. A Jungle Boy chant breaks out. Alvarez hits a snap suplex on Jungle Boy. Alvarez goes over to the turnbuckles and climbs up to Brett's rope, but then climbs back down and proceeds to put a reverse headlock on Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy tries to fight out of it, but Bryan Alvarez cuts him off by pulling Jungle Boy's hair. Then Alvarez puts on or steps on Jungle Boy's hair, grabs Jungle Boy's arms and pulls his arms up. So it's like a little hair pull thing, and the referee starts counting on it, starts to count on that. So Alvarez has to break that hold at 4. It's a silly move. I mean, it doesn't do anything. It just looks kind of dumb. It doesn't even add heat. It just looks kind of silly. You figure Alvarez would be admonished for pulling the hair, but yeah, come on. It just looks silly. Okay. Alvarez gets upset with the ref and pushes him. Because he had to break the hold, I guess. The ref says, "Fuck off, I'm the ref," and then shoves Alvarez back. Alvarez with a snapmare to Jungle Boy, followed by a kick to the back, and he goes for a pin and gets a 2 count. Alvarez again goes to the ropes and hesitates and climbs up them, but stops on the top rope and then jumps back down. And I'm not sure why he's doing this. It doesn't really make any sense in the context of the match. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure out later. I don't know. Maybe it's all part of a kind of a storyline that I don't know about with Alvarez. Alvarez whips Jungle Boy off the ropes, and Alvarez attempts a backdrop, and Jungle Boy executes a sunset flip on Alvarez for a 2 count. Alvarez responds with a reverse chin lock to maintain control of Jungle Boy. So at this point, Jungle Boy is beginning his ass whip ever since he took that ring post shot. So he's got to make a move at some point if he's going to defend his juniors heavyweight championship. That's for damn sure, or else it's a bye-bye title. Jungle Boy fights out of the chin lock with some elbows. Jungle Boy runs the ropes and gets nailed by a lariat from Alvarez. Wham! I mean, just gets friggin' nailed by this friggin' lariat. Flips over. He does the Rikishi bump, essentially. Alvarez seems pretty confident at this point. He's gesturing at the crowd. He's got a smug look on his face, and he's just taking his time walking around the ring. And that enables the crowd to start a Jungle Boy chant to fire up their boy. No pun intended. Alvarez takes his time and finally climbs to the top rope. So he finally gets to the top rope, but Jungle Boy gets right up and runs right up the breadth rope and superplexes Alvarez to the mat. Bam! Beautiful spot, reminiscent of the one and only Kurt Angle. So both men are now down, selling on the mat. Referee starts a count, and it gets up to 8 when both men get to their knees, and we have another bouye spot filled with more chops. More chops. Ugh, more chops. Pork chops, right? Pork chops. Alvarez falls back into a corner, and then and as JB tumbles towards Jungle Boy tumbles towards Bryan Alvarez, and Alvarez backflips Jungle Boy over the top rope to the apron. Jungle Boy blocks a chop from Alvarez and then tries to slingshot over the top rope, but Alvarez blocks the attempt with an elbow. Alvarez then runs the ropes and gets absolutely nailed by a middle rope spear by Jungle Boy. It looked really good. I love those little slingshot spears. Who else does that in WWE? I can't remember. Let's see here. Jungle Boy rolls out to the apron after the spear. The Jungle Boy hits Alvarez with a slingshot cutter for a 2 count. Very nice move. Jungle Boy chant breaks out. Alvarez sells to the corner. Jungle Boy charges from the opposite corner and catches a kick attempt from Alvarez, but Alvarez responds with a rake of the eyes. Crowd goes boo. Good heel stuff by Alvarez. I love it. He's doing a really good job of being a heel here. Alvarez rams Jungle Boy's head into a turnbuckle. Then Alvarez whips Jungle Boy into the opposite corner, but Jungle Boy avoids the charge by Alvarez by grabbing the top rope and elevating himself over Alvarez. Bryan Alvarez, however, grabs Jungle Boy's feet, but Jungle Boy responds by pushing Alvarez's head into the top turnbuckle with his feet. And then while still in the air, Jungle Boy nails Alvarez with a beautiful code breaker for a 1, a 2, but Alvarez won't stay down. He wants the title just as much as Jungle Boy wants to defend it. Beautiful sequence there by Jungle Boy and Alvarez. Very nice, very nice. Jungle Boy places Alvarez on Brett's rope. And Jungle Boy tries for something resembling an electric chair. He has Alvarez on his shoulders, but Alvarez escapes and pushes Jungle Boy into the ref. Jungle Boy prevents the ref bump by stopping himself, but with the referee distracted, Alvarez is able to nail Jungle Boy right in his coconuts. And Jungle Boy sells it like he just got shot with a cannon. At this point, Alvarez is measuring Jungle Boy. He's begging him to get up, and Alvarez nails Jungle Boy with a super kick right in the jaw. Wham! We get a 1, we get a 2, but Jungle Boy gets the shoulder up. That was awfully close, but Jungle Boy is not ready to go home. And Bryan Alvarez can't believe it. He can't believe that wasn't it. He's looking at the ref. That was a 3 and all that kind of shit. Jungle Boy rolls to a corner, and he just looks up at Alvarez and says, "Just bring it, dude." Bryan Alvarez attempts another super kick, but Jungle Boy catches it, goes for a lariat. Alvarez ducks and applies a rear naked choke to Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy is in that hold for about maybe 10 seconds before he pushes Alvarez back into a corner, breaking the choke. Alvarez is right back on him, though, quick as a bunny, and reapplies the choke and brings Jungle Boy down to the mat and then grapevines Jungle Boy's waist. And this is not looking for Jungle Boy here. Ref lifts up one arm, and then the arm goes down. Second time with the arm goes down. Third time's a charm, but no. Jungle Boy holds his arm up, and he starts to fire up. Jungle Boy gets to his feet, and then Bryan Alvarez still has the choke applied. But Jungle Boy starts to wrap up Bryan Alvarez in some kind of move. I'm not sure what this is called until the commentator says this is a mushroom lock. So Alvarez is still grapevining Jungle Boy's waist, but Jungle Boy has managed to catch Alvarez in some kind of full Nelson move while Alvarez is on Jungle Boy's, is up around by his shoulders. It's kind of weird looking. It's hard to describe. You have to watch the video or watch the match to find out. But the commentators call it the mushroom lock. And Alvarez is in trouble here. He can't move. Jungle Boy has it locked in super tight, and this is for the title here. And like the crowd is yelling, tap, 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 and that's what they get at 10 minutes, 53 seconds. Jungle Boy forces Alvarez to tap out to the mushroom lock to retain his APW junior heavyweight title. Very nice, good match. One of the commentators says it's called the mushroom lock because it takes out everything, and I'm not sure what that means. Alvarez rolls to the floor and sells while Jungle Boy celebrates with the crowd. Jungle Boy walks around the outside of the ring and hugs it out with the ballet folklorico kids at ringside. And as he walks in the back, we cut to black. Okay, so this match was pretty damn good. I didn't have any preconceived notions. I didn't know either of these. Oh, I'm sorry, I knew who Jungle Boy is, but I don't know who Bryan Alvarez was. But I enjoyed the story here. Jungle Boy played the babyface fighting from underneath, as Alvarez was the typical rule-bending / breaking dastardly heel. He played it well. Both guys played their parts well, I might add. Jungle Boy had to overcome the senton, that huge lariat that he took. Not to mention the heel tactics like the low blow to retain his title, which he did via submission. And Alvarez pulled out all the stops to try and win Jungle Boy's title. But some other day, Bryan Alvarez, some other day. A lot of these independent matches, I'm really starting to notice this more and more as I'm watching them, and they really know how to maximize. These wrestlers in these independent shows know how to maximize their minutes in their matches. This match clocked in at just under 11 minutes, and there's lots of back and forth. A number of great spots, especially the one that concluded with the Jungle Boy Codebreaker. Two beautiful stuff right there. Alvarez had me not liking him before the match even started. He cut that little promo at the beginning. He mocked the hometown fans' actual hometown and questioned them why they lived there. He told Jungle Boy he was going to make him tap. He's going to chop him to pieces and all that stuff. And just being a prick, all that stuff. Then he proceeded to continue to make me not want to like him during the match. He showed off his skill. Like he had that senton. He had he had that nice lariat. He had that nice rear naked choke. He shows he can wrestle, but he also has to bend the rules. Then he has to break the rules because once he and Jungle Boy are on the same footing, he has to maintain his advantage. The only way for him to do that is to break the rules. So good heel stuff there from Bryan Alvarez. Really nice. Selling was okay. They only had 10 minutes. I'm not going to sit there and harp on it too much. You can't spend all day selling moves. You got to move on with the match here. Jungle Boy sold like a boss for Alvarez. He made him look like a badass. He made me want him to win. Just from his selling alone, I wanted to see him come back and win the match. I really did, and that's what we got. Not to mention the hot crowd really helped out with him selling because they were constantly chanting his name to get him to fire back up. But there were times where both men didn't sell some things enough, but that's my usual nitpick on selling, and it's never really going to change. I'll try to be a little bit more, I'm going to say forgiving, but sometimes some matches only have 10 minutes, and, what can you do? But speaking of the 10 minutes, I wish they would have had a little bit more time. If they had a bit more time, the story could have been enhanced just a little bit with a few more minutes. Could you imagine that comeback if Jungle Boy had taken a bit more damage and he had to and he had a fire-up spot as a result? I could see early in the match when Jungle Boy's taking some punishment and he comes back once and Alvarez cuts him off and puts him back down on the mat for maybe with that rear naked choke, or he puts on some other kind of a rest spot, like another headlock or a submission move or whatever it was. And then finally, Jungle Boy makes his second comeback, and there's no cutting off on the second one, and the crowd goes freaking crazy, and he gets a tap out win. He gets Bryan Alvarez in some deep shit, and then finally it culminates with Jungle Boy getting the win. I think a few more minutes, that's all I was asking for. But like I said, they had 11 minutes, and that's all they could get out of that show, so that's fine, no problems. There was a small timing issue here and there, but the main one that I saw was when Alvarez hit that lariat where Jungle Boy did the Rikishi bump. The way the camera was looking at it, you could see that Jungle Boy started to sell just a bit early. I mean, because like you can see him doing the Rikishi bump, and then the Lariat flies right over him. So it still looked good, just a little bit of a timing issue. The heel announcer, the one who was all about Bryan Alvarez, he's trying to be too much like, I'm sorry, he's trying to be like Bobby Heenan. The fawning over the heel, the justifying the heel tactics, making excuses for those tactics. That's all Bobby Heenan, and this guy just needs some more practice at it. Bobby Heenan is obviously a role model for every announcer. If he's not, then you have an issue. You need to go and watch and listen to Bobby Heenan during all his matches if you're going to be a heel announcer. But this guy, whereas Bobby Heenan never really had go-away heat for me, this guy did. Especially with that stupid disqualification comment where, like, you want your boy to win the title, but he's not going to if you're going to sit there and say, that should have been a disqualification, blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, you just got to figure out that, like, you just have a conflict of interest with that kind of comment. You're going against what you want. So just got to work on it. You probably not listen to this, so I'm probably just talking to myself at this point. But either way, I think those comments stand. I think I'm pretty accurate with that. I rated this match a 7.5. It was fun. The crowd had a good time. So if they had a good time, I had a good time. Both men did a great job with the story and the selling. And I suggest to anyone who's a wrestling fan to watch this because it had the babyface and heel dynamic that I enjoy seeing. And like I said, I definitely suggest watching this match. And I'm going to cut this one off tonight. I'm going to come back with another random Mass Daily match for you, another random Mass Daily match review for you tomorrow. So be on the lookout. Have a good night.